Hi, everyone. It's Mitch from sportschatplace.com and pickdogs.com, and it is Monday, May 25th, 2020. Here with your live show. We go live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. On Mondays, at least during the break, during the stoppage in sports, I go live solo. So, kind of do this Monday with Mitch thing. Usually I try and have a topic as to what I'm going to talk about, and then hopefully we get some questions from you guys as to what you want to hear from me, and any questions are pretty much fair game, except for religion and politics, because I really don't talk about either of those things. The show is really about sports and sports betting. But at the same time, you guys have come to know me over the years, so you know a lot about me and my lifestyle. I live in Hawaii, play golf, go surfing, do all kinds of things like that, and of course watch and bet on a ton of sports. So if you guys have questions, by all means, just fire them away, and we'll put them right here in the comments. We'll put you right up on the screen. But good morning to Indy. Good morning, Max. Happy Memorial Day to everyone. I know that a lot of people haven't been in their offices where they work for a very long time. So, getting the day off and not going into work might be a little bit more painful than going into work. But, I think that, we're kind of getting past that point. I think we have two different camps in the country and around the world as to how this thing is going. But what we're starting to do is see in other places around the world that that sports is returning. We see the Bundesliga back in action. We're going to see the Premier League, La Liga, all the European leagues, and this is where Corona obviously hit first. While some people feel it's worse in the United States and all of this other stuff, and maybe it is. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't even really follow a lot of this stuff. That, I still think we'll see a return to sports. Obviously, the NBA ready to get back in action. We're going to know within the next couple of days exactly what the plan is, not whether or not they're going to go, exactly what the plan is. And the same thing with the NHL. Major League Baseball, who knows? Like Steve Monahan said on yesterday's show, he wouldn't be surprised if Major League Baseball was the one sport that kind of, took forever and let the whole thing pass them by, because that is what we've come to know by Major League Baseball. Maybe they'll surprise us. Maybe they'll absolutely surprise us, but I don't know. But, I've been talking a lot about, what's been going on behind the scenes here at Sports Chat Place and at pickdogs.com. And I think you can that the fear is that there's going to be another outbreak, but I think there's a couple sides to look at it as far as exactly what the outbreak is and exactly what happened here. And it's like in a lot of places have reopened, and there hasn't been another outbreak. And obviously you let people out and all these things, and as travel restrictions open up and things of that nature. Yeah, you're going to have some cases here and there, but whether or not it causes a giant spike or something, that's just a guess, and personally, I don't see it, but a lot of people, a lot of other people do. We've been out for almost a month now, so we kind of have been all around each other, but then again, we live on an island, so we're very much secluded as to where we're at. So we don't really have access. There's not a lot of people coming in, not a lot of people going out. We're kind of like in our own little place. And that's exactly what the sports are trying to do, create an isolated environment like we have here, because we don't have any kind of spike. We have, matter of fact, I think we've had 2 new cases in the last 2 weeks or something. But we always had the lowest rate here, so it's hard to really judge about here. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I have a whole bunch of these. I showed them on a show where I went through, and I have a bunch of them. I have like the old Rams, I have the Los Angeles Rams before they went to St. Louis. I have the old Patriots, Dolphins, name a team. I have the old school one, the old Bills helmet. I was planning on changing those around, but I'm not really sure what I'm going to do, as far as those go, because I have some other ideas for what I'm going to do with the set. I kind of like the way the set is shaping up, but at the same time, I have some things with the set that I'm going to change around as well. So, if you guys have any suggestions for the set, by all means, let me know. But we're definitely it's definitely not going to stay as is. I do like the way it's shaping up, but I do want to get more sports represented, I think is what I'm going to try and do, and maybe eliminate some of the other things. Let's see what else we got. Morning, everyone. Yeah, Tom, I didn't really bet it. We just talked about it. Vegas is opening up soon. I don't know what the sports books are or not, because there's really no sports. So I don't know if the books are opening up or if they're not opening up, but I do know that Vegas is opening up. So we'll have to see how that goes. And I think that will be another litmus test as to how the virus goes. But I think at the same time, I think sports needs to come up with a plan, and I think they owe it to us as fans, to say, yes, we are going to play, or no, we're not. It's like, to me, that's part of the problem here, is that they're saying yes, and then they're saying no at the same time. So either say yes or say no, but say what you're going to do and do it or don't do it. Stop stringing us along, because first we were excited about it, now we're starting to get a little irked. But anyways, I'm kind of looking over my shoulders at the set, and everything as I'm doing this. So trying to see what I would do what I'm going to do to improve it. And I have some really, really cool ideas, because I see a lot of empty space to work with, and a lot of things that show up on camera from where I've moved everything recently. That's stuff that maybe didn't show up before. But yeah, so the things that we've been doing here. So Steve Monahan, Chris, and Rod, we're just working on what they're doing as far as their cameras, as far as their lighting, as far as their sound, to improve the show. Okay, for me, you see, I built a new studio, and we did a studio tour, but the studio isn't done. Living in Hawaii, getting stuff shipped, things of that nature, just takes forever. So I have just a list of stuff that's still ready to come in, and as soon as it's in a better place, I will do another studio tour, and hopefully it won't be a final studio tour, but it will certainly be a studio tour that what's going on with that? It'll definitely be a studio tour that is more complete than the one that I gave the last time, which was kind of like a major work in progress one. My microphone is up here. I'll show you guys. This is right here. So it's like I'm kind of adjusting it, because once again, everything kind of a work in progress, and it's like I'm trying to get everything for when the season starts, and when everybody turns, when the season starts and sports start, and we're giving picks and we're doing the shows and everything. I want everything to be it doesn't need to be perfect. We're never going to be perfect. It's not, the goal is not perfection. It's to improvement, and to get it as good as we can get it and deliver the best product that we can. We're obviously not going to be ESPN. We're not going to be CBS. We're not going to be any of those guys. We're going to be Sports Chat Place. We're going to be pickdogs.com, and we're going to do it the best that we can to deliver what you guys want. Morning. Any more word on you doing a podcast? Yeah, we are going to do a podcast. I'm just not sure if we're going to take our morning show that I do with the Puck Dogs, and I don't know if Steve's going to stay with us, throughout as the morning show. If he's going to go back to being the weekend person. We haven't really discussed any of that stuff, but we are going to definitely do a podcast. It's either going to be me doing a podcast and having a guest every day, or not having a guest. Going to do that, or we're just going to take our morning show and do it that way. So I haven't decided yet. I'd kind of like to make another thing and do it the night before and do it a little different, but we'll have to see how it goes. But I have the podcasting set up. I've shown you guys on the cameras and stuff. That we are ready to go on a podcast for sure. So I just need to come up with a new name. I think it's going to be From the Doghouse. Morning, Shane. Shane is, of course, one of our writers, Sports Chat Place and Pick Dogs. He concentrates mostly at Pick Dogs, but he does some stuff at Sports Chat Place as well. Shane did an awesome job covering the UFC. He covers the Korean baseball at at Pick Dogs, and I know that's not an easy thing to do. It's certainly not something that we were all familiar with, a couple of months ago. So it's been a learning process. But I think with sports handicapping, it's something that you have a formula, and it basically works in everything. I mean, you guys have seen me actually, do NHL picks, before I did the coin flip and, kind of mocked NHL picking. I've done NHL picks, and my same formula, it works, right, in NHL. So it's like my same formula works in everything. It doesn't really matter what sport is. It work in tennis. It'll work in pretty much anything. So if anyone has any other questions, by all means, fire away. But, we have our new premium area on the way, too, and it's going to be a different premium area than everybody else is doing. I'm never going to say on here that, you're not going to get any picks unless you buy the premium. I'm not going to say you need the premium to win. I'm not going to say any of those things. But it's going to be definitely different than what everybody else does. So I'll explain that to you, and it kind of leads into our next comment here. So this is definitely a possibility. So we have different guys that definitely want to be on the show. So like Shane is going to be a handicapper on the new site. So likely we'll have him on the show. That I'll need to discuss with him. I haven't really talked too much about it with him, but I'm sure he could answer now if he's still watching, whether or not he wants to be on. But a lot of the guys who are going to be at the new Pick Dogs Premium, we're going to have a new show in the afternoon, kind of closer to game time during the weekdays, and then it'll be in the morning, on weekends. And it's going to be me, and I have a co-host already lined up, and we're going to go through it's going to be very, very fast-paced with multiple guests coming through. So everybody that's selling picks at Pick Dogs and at Sports Chat Place, you're going to see that these are real people. You're going to hear exactly what they're all about, and you're going to get to build a relationship with them as opposed to them just being fake pictures and fake names like you see at a lot of the other sites. So here it is. Shane is in. I will talk to you this afternoon. I'll give you a call or I'll send you a text, and let's get right into it. Maybe we'll start you and I on the podcast, or maybe you and I will do a UFC show, just a show on UFC, or on Korean baseball. Maybe we'll start a nightly Korean baseball show where we just do the Korean baseball picks just to get started, just to see what we got. If you're interested, like I said, I'll text you after the show and we'll set up a time to talk after my golf game. Awesome. I'm excited. See? Just off the top of my head, I already came up with... This is how I come up with ideas for things, just that quickly. I don't copy what other people are doing. I don't, sit there and take somebody else's ideas and then a few years later pretend that it's my own or something. Pretty much come up with ideas that quickly, and that's what separates us from some of those other sites and other places where I used to be, and I'm not anymore, because originality and creativity, not so prevalent in the sports handicapping space, I have to say. But like I said, I'm excited about the new premium area, but it's not going to be something that's mandatory, and it doesn't mean we're going to give out anything less. It just means we're going to give out more, is really what it means. So I'm excited about that and, delivering all of those different things. I don't have a ton to talk about here. Reggie Bush says that it would be a shame if college athletes got paid. I mean, he got paid, right? So it's like, do as I say, not as I do. I can't stand it, I in case you guys haven't noticed, I don't always agree with everything that athletes say. I don't idolize these guys. There are a few guys that I've idolized throughout the years, guys like Muhammad Ali, people willing to take a stand. And it's not necessarily that I agree with everything that Muhammad Ali said and did and all of those different things. But I have to say, at least he had the guts to take a stand. It's not like they asked him a question and he just, ran away, just didn't answer anybody or something, right? Just a spineless, like these spineless people out there in the world, It's like something is said that, yeah, we don't talk politics on here. Yeah, I think, we're just trudging through this thing. I have to say that I love doing the show. I love talking to you guys. I love doing all this stuff. But I don't like it that there's no sports, and I don't like it that I'm not delivering picks to you guys, because that's what we do, you know. But it's like I do like that I can see the show now on the big screen in front of me, and I wish I had my camera on to show you guys what I'm looking at, and I can see that the quality and the picture and the sound, everything is spot on, and that's something we've been working on. So at least we're doing something. Spread knowledge, dog of the day. We could do it. We could start doing spread knowledge picks, actually, because the soccer picks are up on spread knowledge. So let me see what we got. I don't have it up on the screen here. I wish I did, or else I would just do it right now. Maybe tonight or tomorrow I'll just do a spread knowledge live show. That would be fun. So yeah, we'll try that. We could try that easily. Cool. Yeah, I noticed the sound improvements in Rod's sound, and hello, Rod. If Rod has any picks for us today, is there NHL Sims or anything? You want to give us some picks? We can call Rod and bring him in. Rod, you around? You want me to call you? Bring you in for some picks? We can do it. Or Chris, either of you guys. You guys want to do some quick picks? I will buzz you up and throw you on the show. Yeah, if you guys have any other questions or any other things, but I'm excited because, when we got Sports Chat back, we only really had a month to get things going. And, we've been able to work on some things behind the scenes with our tech team, but I have to be honest that without everything being live, we can't work on everything, so at the sites. But it'll definitely be something that we will be working on. I'm pretty excited about everything that's going on, and it's just it's unfortunate for everybody what has happened over the last few months, but it was unfortunate what happened over the last year, but I'm really excited about everything going forward, and I do believe that in a few months this will all be in the past. All right, Rod is saying he will be with us in just a second, and there is an NHL Sim. So Rod, hit me up on Skype, and I will bring in for a impromptu NHL Sim pick. Rod has been knocking the cover off the ball in the Sim pick. I have to say that yesterday's NASCAR race, nobody got that one. I looked in our Facebook group. Nobody had these picks. No, I did not, and no, I will not be. I will. I think I have to. I think that any kind of sports betting always benefits the bookie because the odds are always slated in the book's favor. Always. There's always a spread on the money line. There's always a vig on against the spread bets. So anytime there's any sports betting through a book, the only time that there's not an advantage in sports betting to the house is when you say to your friend, "I'll bet you $10." That's the only time. And even then, you might not get such a good shake. But back to the Vegas, I'm planning on possibly getting another place in Vegas. I just have to see how everything plays out over the next few months. I'm not 100%, to be honest, I'm not 100% sold on staying in Hawaii. I'll probably keep this house here because I love it. I love my house. I love, the Hawaiian lifestyle, and I love the Hawaiian people. And, I like living in Hawaii, and I like having a house in Maui. I'll probably keep this house regardless. But I think my wife and I have considered selling this house, and it's like, we just can't do it. So it's like we're obviously not going to sell this house, and whether we live here or not, maybe not living here or something, and having the house will make us want to sell it. I don't know, but we're talking about other locations and other places because I want to make things bigger. And with the resources that we have here in Hawaii, in Maui, we're limited. And also with the expenses of doing it here in Hawaii, we're limited as well. So doing it in some place where it's a tax-free state, Texas, Nevada, something of that nature, makes a little bit more sense for us. And also there's a lot more people there. And that would give us the opportunity to get the people in to do some of the behind-the-scenes stuff that you guys wouldn't see. I think the guys who you guys see and hear from, the Randy, Chris, Andrew, Rod, Shane, Chris Smith, Ron. It goes on and on. Goran, Peter, Kyle, Liam. It goes on and on and on. And Nathan, our newest guy who writes rugby, and we'll be posting the rest of his rugby articles this week. I think that those guys do a great job as to what you see outward facing. I think it's the other stuff that you guys don't see where we are lacking, and it's because we don't have help. Like, I don't have an assistant. Like, everybody else in this industry has a whole team that works in an office with them. Everybody does. I'm the only one that doesn't. Name it a site out there. Like, Vegas Insider has a whole bunch of people, and Covers has a whole bunch of people, and any sites like that, they all have a bunch. Docs even has people, but I don't have anybody. It's just me. So I need help. Florida is hard for me because the East Coast time zone. So for me, Eastern time zone is a struggle because I'm a morning person. Number one, I'm a morning person. Number two, it's like in Florida, the games end and start so late. It's like it forces you to do it. Yep. Randy's been with us for a long time. So Randy used to write at Bleacher Report, and he wrote me an email years and years ago saying, I want to come on, all right. I mean, and, we brought Randy on, and I'll tell you what, I haven't looked back since. It's phenomenal. The only thing is he's become as tough as me. Oh, I wonder if Rod is, I can't hear, I don't have my headphones in, so I'll be able to hear Rod if he does call me. He's going to have to message me. Let's see. No, it doesn't do it automatically. Actually, my nephews do our Twitter. So I will tell them that. No, we don't. Not that I know of. I think we could. I don't know if Rod is ringing me or not. I don't know what's going on with him. He said he was coming on to do a sim pick. But if he can't make it, he can't make it, and that's fine. He could post it in the Facebook group. But, yeah, I'm excited about everything that's going on. I like doing these Mondays with Mitch where it's just me. It's like I like having the guys on. For years, I did the show with just me. So it's like it's not a big deal. I like them having a day off because I think they get excited about coming back on. And I generally think they're excited about coming on. Thank you. I don't know what that means, but I thank you. I'm not 100% sure what commercialized means. I mean, I'm wearing a sports chat shirt and a Pick Dogs hat, but I'm not really sure what that means. But I think that I think what makes me different is I never really push on my premium picks. We don't get like snarky and like this elitist status, like condescending about it. It's kind of like we win, we lose, it happens, and there's people, that we know coming in that, they're going to complain about, about it anyway. We could win, we could lose. It really doesn't matter. So Rod says he's good to go. That was 10:57. All right. I guess he wants me to. I'll ring him. We'll see what happens. We will. Normally I have these behind my back. So. This is how I hear the guys. I know you guys can't always see my earpieces, but I do wear them on every show. Except for this one because I don't talk to anybody. Let's see. Yeah. All right. You can't see me?
Not on Skype.
All right, it doesn't matter. We're gonna bring Rod in. He's gonna have some picks for us on the NHL Sim game. There it is. Hey, Rod, welcome to our show.
Morning.
Rod's got his Pick Dog shirt on. How cool is that? Anyways, which just goes to show we do have a bunch of different sizes out there. You can see Rod wears a different size than I do. But anyways, so I played in a scramble yesterday. Best ball scramble.
My pick.
Go ahead.
That was crazy too. I didn't know that the scoring was going to be like that in the first 9.
It's all right. I mean, I think, we talked about it yesterday, and, someone was saying all this stuff, and I was like, if you're relying on, fake golf to make your living in sports betting, and, to build your bankroll, you got bigger problems out there than worrying about, whether our picks are coming through for you or not. Because I think we tried a couple different things. I guess on the long drive hole, Phil knocked it out of bounds or something. I don't know what happened. I didn't see it, but that's what I heard.
Yep.
But I'm going to guess he probably was out driving Tiger most of the day. I mean,
but most of the day, yeah, he was.
I'm sure he was. I mean, we looked at the gear. I played in a best ball scramble yesterday. I didn't even know it was a best ball scramble, and the guy is playing with nicest guy in the world, but he was about a 30 handicap, and it was just not a lot of help. We won. We ended up winning money at the end. I won 2 of the closest to the pins on the par 3s. They were super close, and then we picked up a skin on one of them because I sunk the birdie putt. It was about this far. I hit a 6-iron from about 168 within like 3 feet of the pin, and
nice.
We nailed it in. It was like we got skin closest to the pin, everything. It was like a $70 hit on that one. But
that one hole was cool. Everybody was within what? They was close. It was what, 17 inches from a hole in one.
I was surprised that Brady wasn't better.
Yeah, he looked off. He looked pretty out of sorts in the beginning. I noticed when they were taking him off camera, he had some issue because he was texting. They had him because they had cameras in every cart, which was kind of cool, and they were voice recorded. He was texting and driving that cart.
I can beat both of them, Peyton Manning and Brady. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, I think so too. Yeah.
I could beat both those guys. But
yeah,
it doesn't really matter. I mean, they're great quarterbacks, and believe me, I'm sure there's a lot of things they can beat me at, including football. But in golf, I can safely say I can beat both those guys. Probably on a regular basis. But let's go to the NHL Sim games for today. What do you got for us? This was like unscheduled. Normally it's just Mondays with just Mitch, but Rod said he had some NHL Sim picks, so we'll bring him in.
So today they're doing their usual. They brought their one game back, and it's the Philadelphia Flyers at the Washington Capitals. So Washington being at home here, their goalie is ranked really high in this game. So as this year he did have a bad year, but he's in a video game. So that number is way up. I'm going to take Washington. Give me Washington on the puck line. Washington -1.5 at +130. I think they easily win this game.
All right, there you have it. Washington on the puck line for for today's NHL. Rod has been knocking the cover off the ball. Rod, what did you think of yesterday's NASCAR race? A lot of people like Truex. You like Truex, and a lot of people like Truex going into the race. He was pretty big odds, and he was there for a lot of the race.
The other guy I picked was right there too. Man,
how about Hamlin losing the piece of his car?
It was the pit. Why? I don't understand why they do that. Like, there's 2 laps to go, and there's a yellow, and you're going to go to green, white, checkered into the overtime. Why did he pit? I don't understand that. You had the fastest car. You were gaining on all the other cars, but you went into pit. I think he just threw that away. I think Chase Elliott had that race. It was all his to be won, and he just threw it away going into the pit.
As I said yesterday, why I'm not taking Chase Elliott anymore. It's like this is 2 races in a row that were his to win.
And
2 in a row. I mean, and he just gives them away. I mean, like the other race where he gets ridden into the wall, they're going to try and do that. It's like, this is NASCAR. They've been doing that forever, since I was a kid, watching Richard Petty, that we talked about the other day. It's like, they're going to do that. It's like, why would you, how could you not know? And then, and then yesterday, once again, clearly, it's not the crew chief. It's not at a certain point, it's not the crew chief. It's the entire team.
It's the team.
It's the team. I mean, NASCAR is a team sport. The driver is super important. The crew chief is super important. But it is a team sport all the way from top to bottom. And there's something wrong with this team, Oh,
yeah. Like, why? Well, I don't know who makes that decision. Manager? The pit chief? I don't know. I think it was a bad call. You stay out there and try to win the race.
Yeah, absolutely.
With 3 laps. I don't know. I never did understand that. I'm like, you're losing your spot. You're giving up first to go into the pit. Why?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me at all.
No.
All right. Well,
it's almost like they fixed that. I think Chris got his. I think he said, what did he say? Jimmy Johnson, top 3?
Yep.
And he came second?
Yep. Absolutely.
So.
Well, we'll have more picks tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow. And I believe with Bundesliga tomorrow. So
yeah, that's what I was looking at now. I was just wanting to see what time these things start. Do they start before tomorrow's show?
If they do, we'll do a show tonight. We'll see if we can
we're good. They
we're
don't
good?
start till 10:30. 10:30
Awesome.
a.m., so that's perfect. Yeah.
10:30 a.m. your time?
Yeah, so 10:30 my time, that'd be like 12:30 Chris's time.
Yeah, so we're good. We're good to go.
So we're good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That'll be actually perfect. All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We're going to have Bundesliga. We're going to have us. And we'll have Chris.
2 days of Bundesliga.
Chris,
I got Wednesdays and
Chris
Thursdays.
and Steven, Rod with the new improved sound. Well, have a great day, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.